welcome to the GNM Live Studio channel. I'm Sid Jacobs. I've been teaching at MI for 30 years. I'm currently at SAM, the Swarnabhoomi Academy of Music, and I'll be heading up some jazz guitar lessons here at the gnmguitars.com channel. Today I'm going to talk about some fundamentals of music every guitar player, every musician should know, and that's major and minor, the fundamental building blocks of music, at least in Western music. If someone were to ask, what is music about? I don't know anything about it. Probably the first conversation you might have is to explain the contrast, whether you explain happy or sad, or dark and light, but major, minor. Now, every chord progression that has a name, every chord that has a name is named because it's major and minor. The three chords that have symbols, major seventh or major minor seventh or minor dominant seventh, also has a major third. So every chord that has a name is named because of its third, be it major or minor. So every chord progression is basically a series of thirds. Now, I'll use as a template the song All the Things, which is a favorite song for musicians to jam on. So the first chord's an F minor type, F minor seventh, but I'm just going to play F minor, B flat minor, E flat dominant, A flat major, D flat major, G seventh, C. Now you can feel the progression just from those two notes. So you can feel the progression even with the notes. Whether I go root third or third root, it's felt. Might be the very first conversation we have. Page 1, book 1. That's just thirds spread out. Now page 2 might be the inversion. It could still be page 1 depending on the size of the font. But F minor, and there's the inversion, the minor third, then the root. B flat minor, then the minor third and the root. E flat major, which is a dominant chord in this case, and then there's the third and the root. And then A flat major seventh, but I'm just playing the root and the third. Now the third and the root, C and A flat. D flat and F for the D flat major, then F and D flat. G seventh has G and B. The inversion would be B and G. And then C and E for C major, E and C. So to recap, and we have contrary motion too with the roots. The bottom is going up and the top is going down. That's what I mean by contrary motion. The second part of the song, C minor, minor C, F minor, third and root. Root third, third root, root third, third root, root third, third root, root third, third root, root third. That's just so you could hear it without me talking. What we start to do with this is we embellish it, because this is just the skeleton of the chord progression. So we embellish it with either the scale step from above. So this would be the chord tones, and the scale step above that note, which is an F, would be the G. And then the next chord tone would be D flat. The scale step above the D flat is E flat. And then the next chord tone is G. The scale step above the G is the A flat. So continuing. Now the other embellishment that we can use is the chromatic note, or the half step from below. So that's the scale step from above the F. Here's the F. The scale step above the F is the G. And the chromatic note from below is the E. The next is B flat minor. There's the B flat and the D. The chromatic to the B flat is A. And the scale step above. Now this creates a tension for moment of the secondary dominant, or the F7th, suggested by the tritone of the A and the E flat, the third and seventh of the F7th. So by obeying these simple principles of voice leading, we achieve something quite advanced in harmony, the secondary dominant. It's not a beginner's tool, but we come upon it quite naturally by operating these simple principles of counterpoint. So that was the same thing. The second half, the same chord progression, just in a different key. Now at the bridge, we have an A minor sus. So there's the fourth suspended to the third. And when we invert this process, we have the third at the bottom, and the second is suspended to the root. So that's an interesting sound that we can use in many other contexts. It doesn't have to just be this song. This song is only a template for the process that we're learning about. Root and third, and then the F sharp and the C, that's the tritone, that always resolves in contrary motion, at least in tonal music. That's our 2-5-1, or F sharp minor, to B seventh, to E major, to C, and then we're back to the last half. There's our 4-chord D flat minor, Now that sounded rather classical. I said, well, that's nice and all. Maybe it doesn't sound like jazz, but if we just rhythmically alter it a little bit. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this short little video lesson, and if you want to learn more about this series, please visit gnmguitars.com. Look for our educational system, and I'm looking forward to seeing you there.